2021. Brownie Heaven is India's only brownie centric brand with 99 plus brownie flavors and 25 plus brownie based creation and drinks. It started by Nishant Vijay Kumar, who started his career as a chef and has experience with ITC hotels. And later in his life, he conceptualized and got into the model, which is a franchise heaven. So it is his baby. To discuss more on this, I have Nishant with him. A very warm welcome to you. And thank you for joining us, Nishant. Can you help us in understanding how did you start and your journey so far?
Sure. Thanks, Alka. Yeah. So hi guys. My name is Nishant. Just to give you a brief background on myself, I was born and brought up in Chennai. I used to play cricket for the Tamil Nadu junior state team, so I represented Tamil Nadu in under 17 and the under 19 category. Post which I did my hotel management at Manipal at the Welcome Group Graduate School of Hotel Administration. I graduated as the gold medalist from there, and I joined ITC Hotels as a management trainee in the kitchen department. So worked with them again across various cities, and was part of the pre-opening team of ITC's first resort property at Manesar, which is ITC Grand Bharat. Post which I was posted as the junior sous chef at ITC Grand Chola in Chennai, and that's the place from where I left, and I set up my own company. This was in September 2015. So started off with Brownie Heaven. Brownie Heaven is a completely product centric brand where we do anything and everything related to brownies. Okay, and it was a conscious decision to start off with something like this because uh, after having worked in hotels, seen the kind of wastage that happens across various places and all the other models that run in a hotel, I wanted to do something which could be scalable. Number one, which had very minimal waste. Number two, and also something that was easy to operate across cities and would not require the owner to be there at all times. So this is also a franchise friendly model because most of the products are made at our central kitchen and it is sent from us. So the product quality remains intact and we follow a very strict recipe. We don't use any pre-mixes and all of that. It's a completely artisanal handmade recipe by myself. And so the products are sent from our kitchen, and all the operator or the franchisee has to do at the location is to kind of heat it or put some sort of topping on it based on a very simple SOP given by us, and they're able to operate a business. So for someone who's looking at starting with a low capex, who's looking at starting off in the food business with a very low, kind of, it's a low touch model. So this is like the perfect way to get into the kind of to the food business and then explore further. Maybe that's how it's worked for us. And in fact, I started franchising within 3 months of setting my own store. So just after 3 months of setting the first location, we signed our first franchisee, and there's been no looking back since. We're spread across 5 states in the country, and there are a lot of franchisees who are happy and continue to make money every month. So yeah, we have a strong social media following as well. You can check us out on Instagram with Brownie Heaven India channel and on Facebook. And like it's mentioned, we've served almost 40-45 lakh brownies till date across geographies. So the product has been validated. So we have crossed that stage where we have to check if our product is going to be accepted by the market or not, because we are sure that it's going to work across markets. It's not a
Yeah,
problem.
because you have the expertise in the kitchen, right? So
Right,
that
exactly.
is also helping big time.
Yeah. So, yeah, why choosing Brownie Heaven? Like I just mentioned in brief, one, it's a low touch model. The number of hours that you have to put in as a franchisee is not as much as running, your own business. If you're going to start from scratch, or if you're going to take any other model, you may have to put in only a max of maybe 1 or 2 hours a day, even initially, and then once it reaches a particular scale, you can completely remote control the business from wherever you are. You don't need to be physically present over there. So that's one advantage. Another advantage is the fact that most of the products are made by us and we send it to you. So in terms of controlling the quality, consistency, all of that is our headache. You don't have to do anything at site. You don't have to make anything, bake anything at site. So there will be no issues in terms of consistency and quality, or having to even kind of hire skilled people to run the store. You don't need to hire a skilled person to run your shop. It can be anyone with just a good attitude. And the next thing is also the low capex, and because your total investment is anywhere between 7 to 10 lakhs, we have some flexible models where you don't have to invest more than that. And that's it's a great start into the food business. You get to understand various things, you get to make your contacts, you get to do all of that while still owning something with a lower risk. And the dessert segment is growing, and just brownies as such is growing. The potential is huge. I think that this is the right time to get into this kind of model.
Sure, sure. So in the next slide, we will have more understanding from Nishant.
Right. So, like I said, in terms of some of the USPs of our product, it is almost zero wastage because of the fact that we have a shelf life of about 8 to 10 days. Okay, and we send you products whenever you need. Invariably, there is almost zero wastage at the store because whatever bakes or whatever you're going to display is going to sell out. And it's a unique recipe. Again, it's not made from a premix. We use 100% chocolate, 100% butter. There is of ingredient quality. Okay, and a lot of eye candy plating presentations actually. So something like a brownie web, a brownie sizzler, a brownie banoffee, a brownie tiramisu. These are all our differentiated product offerings that we have. Just apart from the regular brownie and ice cream that is served in most places. And in terms of the product, we have 99 plus flavors. It's always rotating on the menu. You can choose whatever you want. We have a lot of brownie based creations, drinks, some savory items, and in fact, we're also working on a line of cookies and travel cakes as well. So that should be added to the pipeline very soon. And
Sure.
we have a lot of product, differentiated product offerings based on festivals also. So for Diwali, we do brownie laddus, we do brownie modaks. For Ganesh Chaturthi, for Christmas, we have a plum brownie. So constant innovation keeps happening with the product.
Sure, sure. Yes. So this will go to the next slide, which will have the source of a revenue, basically the business model. What are the different avenues of business? If somebody is interested to take up your franchise, so can you help in understanding more on it?
Right. So the franchise model is, like I mentioned, franchise owned and franchise operated. So you completely run the show. Okay. We will completely support you from the back end and also give you the requisite training required to run the shop. But what happens is, unless you are fully invested in the business, and because it's your own money at the end of the day, you need to run the show. You need to ensure you make your returns. We will provide you all the means to do the same. But end of the day, it's up to you. So now, just in terms of running the model, it's a one time franchise fee. We don't have a royalty, so that's a very big bonus in our model. We don't have any royalty. We do not take any monthly kind of fee for that. Okay, it's just a one time franchise fee. All the layout, the design, whatever it is that has to be done, we will provide it. The initial staff training will be provided either in our flagship outlet in Chennai, or we will send someone to whichever location you are in. There's not a problem. And store operations, obviously it's your scope, but we will provide you the entire SOP for this, start to finish, right from an opening checklist to a closing checklist to all the other points that you need to take care of. Since we are well experienced in this now, you don't have to worry about that. Okay. There will be a small renewal fee at the end of the contract period. This is just to ensure that both of us are still continuing to grow the business. We are still interested to run the business, and there should be some sort of involvement from both sides. Yeah. In terms of margins, it's anywhere between 45 to even 100%, depending on the product that you sell. So if you're only selling just a brownie off the shelf, you're going to be making a 45% margin. But if you're going to be selling any of our creations with a brownie and ice cream, or a brownie shake, or a brownie tiramisu, and any of those, you will sell almost close to 100% margin. So that particular product and menu mix, we will help you out with. We will give you a further understanding of what products you should try and promote to ensure that you make higher margins, right?
And the
And
avenues of business, basically, so
yeah,
here on the left side, I can see in store sales and then delivery sales and B2B
exactly,
sales.
exactly. So the thing here is that, See, the brownie is a very versatile product. Okay, it is not something like, it's not say a pizza or a pasta or something where you can only sell right from your store or as a takeaway. Okay, so we have different revenues or different basically distribution channels of sale. So one is the in-store sale, obviously, where people will come to your store and have. The other one is selling on online platforms like Swiggy, Zomato, DotPay, Dunzo. Right now, there are so many other platforms that come where you can directly sell direct to the customer. And also, one main advantage of the brownie is the B2B, and also we do B2C directly in terms of events. We do catering, we do restaurant supplies, weddings, baby showers, wedding invitations, and the list is endless. Corporate gifting, especially during Diwali, Christmas, people are now moving to brownies and some more novel products as compared to just Indian sweets and chocolates. So it's a huge segment that is growing year on year for us. So these are
So
some of
then,
the avenues that you can
so when
explore.
you say B2B, the franchisee has to source it on its own, or you are going to help them
No, so
providing,
see, at the end of the day, whichever city that the franchise is operating in, they are going to have a better understanding of the clients there. They're going to have a better understanding of the market there. We will provide the product if they want 10,000, 1 lakh brownies, anything we can provide that. There's no problem. But in terms of driving the sales, they will have to do it.
Sure, sure. Yeah, so I'm agreeing on the part that so you have the different avenues of the business, which adding not only from the sales which you expect
Exactly.
once
Yeah.
walking, but from the other sources as well.
Right.
So yes, the capital expenditure. Can you
Yeah.
elaborate on this front?
So, see, like I said, it's a low investment, low touch model. We don't need too many complex equipment to run a shop. All of the equipments that you're going to be investing in, it's just something that everyone is aware how to maintain or how to manage it. You don't need any some sort of technical expertise to run these. It's just a deep freezer, refrigerator, microwave, blender, a display counter for the brownies. Your hardware includes a tablet and a printer, and this software is a one-time. It's a yearly fee that you pay to help manage your POS and your CRM better to handle your customers better. So that's it. This is just a basic breakup of the capex
Yes,
that's involved.
yes, yes. So what is the area you look for?
So, see, the area of a store would be anywhere between 200 and 300 square feet would be the ideal size for a store, wherein we can have a mix of both online and offline sales. And if, with this kind of space, the rent also is kept in check. It's not too high a rental, and also we still have about 6 to 8 seats that can be accommodated in this size. So we are
Okay.
catering to every segment of population. We are not only telling people to come and take away; they can also sit there and eat, and we're keeping it that way. We're keeping it as compact as possible.
Sure, sure.
So
Yeah, so
this
the
is
other expenses which I can see in the for furniture, fixtures, and other stuff.
exactly. So
Yes.
this is just a rough, this will, the furniture and fixtures obviously will vary based on the size of the store, but this is, based on our experience and approximate figure that it costs. And the brand fee, like I said, the franchise fee will be 3 lakhs plus GST. And this is, kind of given per area, per pin code, basically. And we try and ensure that we do not give stores too close to you so that we don't want you to cannibalize on each other's business. So,
What is the exclusivity of area you look for?
see, at least 5 kilometers based on the Swiggy Zomato radius in that
Reach.
location. So we don't want each person to cannibalize on business, but yeah. So depending on their zone, so that way you don't
Sure,
have to worry that we are going to get someone in the next street or something like that.
sure, sure. So we'll have more clarity on capex in the next slide.
Right. So
Yeah, so
these
the
are
projection basically.
yes, like a what if analysis basically. So this is a what if analysis of how much you can try and expect to make at a minimum uh, based on the sales you do. So anywhere between, if you're doing a sales of 2 lakhs, you can guaranteed get a return of 20,000 rupees in a month. If you're doing 3 lakhs, you get 68,000, and if you're doing four, and it just increases proportionally. Okay, so this again is based on market area. It's based on the rent. These are not like fixed guaranteed amounts that you're going to get, but based on our experience over the last 5 years and all the workings that we have done, this is an approximate figure of what you can expect. Now, how you optimize better or worse, it depends completely in your hands. How you optimize your costs.
Hmm.
So the fixed costs and all of that, it's optimized, the more you can make. And on an average, let me tell you, based on our sales across areas, we do anywhere between 3.5 to 5 lakhs of sales, okay, per month per store. So that is a minimum sale that you can kind of, if you work towards that, and if everything is going well in your own area, and if you're maintaining the store properly and maintaining the customer relationship as it's supposed to be done, you can definitely expect to make anywhere between 3.5 to 5 lakhs per month. And you can see that, if you're going to do that kind of thing, you are going to make a pretty decent margin.
No, but your product is such that it cannot be fit for any type of location. You look for a high street area, sort of, the mall area or the high street area. Am I
Exactly.
right?
So see, so the brownie and anything, it's more like an indulgent product. It's a dessert. It's not a meal replacement. So we cannot just be present anywhere in a particular area. We
Though
have to
there is
be
a lot of acceptance in terms of waffles, if I consider, right?
like.
So a lot of acceptance has come, but still, I think you
See,
look
so
for a some
brownie as a
specific.
category still has it has a lot of room to grow compared to the waffle, but just through data that we're getting from across the country, it's a huge category and there's a huge room to grow. And I think, we are in the right time, and this is the right time to grow this kind of category. And in terms of the location, like you were saying, see, we definitely have to be in and around schools, colleges, areas where there are a lot of student crowd. There are also a lot of apartments and residential crowd nearby, so that can also help us with the online business. So the location is very important for this kind of
Important.
business, even though the area required may be small. Even if we have to spend maybe 2-3 thousand extra for a rental, it is still worth it because we cover every segment.
Hmm. Hmm. What
Yeah.
is the ideal rent you look for? Sir?
See, ideal rent for a 200, 300 square feet would be anywhere between 25 to 35,000 rupees, at max 40,000 rupees per month.
Okay. Fine. So for from your what I understood that the sales which is between 3 and 5 lakh can be expected based on
Yes.
the experience and
Yes,
whichever the franchisees.
based on exactly how they're running the operation, and if they're maintaining all the standards and the quality, and if the marketing is happening well, you can definitely expect between 3 and 5 lakhs for sure.
Sure.
And see, these are some of the outlet options that we are currently having and running. So one is, you can see about a 350 square foot dine-in outlet, wherein we are on a street next to a school and in and around a lot of residences and offices. So this is kind of a perfect where we cater to every single segment. In that particular outlet, we do almost 4.5 to 4.8 lakhs a month. Okay, and then we have a
Sure.
kiosk in a mall wherein it's a very high street mall in like high footfall. Even though the rental is on the higher side, we can recover that in terms of the sales that we're doing there. And another one is like a very small. It's a 6 by 6 kiosk in an IT park. So once we establish the brand in a particular area or a city, this is another option that can be explored because in an IT park, the business is almost guaranteed because you
Sure.
have so many people working on a day.
Correct. Correct.
If your occupancy is more than 50 to at least 1 lakh of people inside, and it's a mix of crowd where it's not the low level BPO crowd, but if it's slightly above that, we can definitely expect to make very good returns from an IT office kiosk, right?
Sure, sure, sure. Yes, from Nishant, we came to know that there are the three possibilities of getting into the franchise in terms of dining, the kiosk in the mall, and IT office. That is also the kiosk. Yes, in the next slide, yeah. So, in terms of selection of franchisee, so do you have any criteria in term, so any background or education or specific skill set you look for? You mentioned that your product is such that it can be easily managed, but
Right.
still, do you have any criteria? For example, business background.
Right.
So can you help me in understanding more?
So, like I said, it really doesn't. We don't need someone who's running a food business or who has any prior experience and all of that. Someone just has to have the right attitude to grow a business, has to have the time to be involved initially to get that business to the particular level that it requires. So
Sure.
we're just looking for someone with the right attitude. And also the most important thing is that there should be some buffer amount that is kept apart from the investment amount.
Correct.
That
Correct.
is the most important because it is not a guarantee that you're going to start making money from month one.
Day one, correct.
Sometimes it may take 3 months, sometimes it may take 6 months, but you shouldn't give up hope, because it is definitely going to turn around. So it just depends on how long someone who has some sort of money that's going to be kept a little extra in terms of either a marketing expense or either something like that. That's all that we require. We don't need anyone with a prior business or a hospitality background.
No, they have to be ready. So this is very clear when we speak to any business seeker who will be interested for any kind of a project. Very clearly, we mentioned that apart from the operational capex, what they look for, they should be ready for the operational varying from 3 to 6 months, because
Right.
business cannot start from the day one or a month one.
Exactly.
Yeah, so clear, the ideal franchising profile, that you don't look for any specific skill set. The person
Yeah.
should know how to run business, right? And they should have the right approach to run business.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, so in the next slide we'll have the how the 7 steps which you follow, right from the inquiry when comes, and going for live, going live. So can you help me?
Sure. So see, so this is how it's a very simple, structure. I think if you guys can read it, how you need to, get basically from start to go live phase. So the first one would be like an introduction of the brand which you're getting right now, and if there are any other questions, you can always ask me. A second one would be an inspection of the site to see if the location works, it's going to work or not work. We will help you with this in terms of, if you can give us various options, we will help you finalize and zero in on the best one. Okay. And then after that would be the documentation phase, where we sign the agreement, we finish all the formalities in terms of the legal issues that happen. And then after that, there'll be a small logistics trial run, so we ensure that we understand exactly how long it's going to take from point to point, from our place to your place. So we ensure we plan also the stocking, the ordering. We help you with all of that. You don't have to worry about that. Staff training, again, like I said, staff training can happen at our location, or we can send someone to your location. So we're flexible with that. And then the interior work that happens over there, we will help you with. We have a particular brand color scheme to be followed, so we will help you with that in terms of finalizing what you can do, materials where you can save money, because we have been through so many stores together till now. So we'll know exactly where to help you cut costs over there. Post that, we do a social media launch phase, wherein for your particular area, there has to be an Insta page and all of that, and it will also be posted on our main handles. And then linking with Swiggy, Zomato, all the third party delivery partners, we will help you with that. And then we're ready to go live.
What is the TAT you look for?
Sorry.
What is the turnaround time you look from, right from when inquiry comes
See, the
till
turnaround time would be at max 1 month. At
one
max.
month?
Yeah. We can even close, if because it's a smaller area, we just put a couple of more people on the job, we can even go live in about 3 weeks.
Hmm. So this include the finding of property and selection of property even?
See, so finding and the selection of properties in the franchisee scope. So as soon as that is done, it'll take a maximum of 3 weeks
Okay,
to go live.
okay. So making infrastructure ready will take a month of a time. This is what you're
It
saying.
will take a max of 3 weeks, and
3 weeks.
the training also doesn't need to be more than 3 or 4 days. That's all is required.
Sure, sure. Fine, we'll have good understanding in terms of how can it be done. Yes, so the
Right.
success stories, you have
Yeah.
already
So
having
these
a
are
presence.
right. So these are all locations where we're already currently present, and we are, in fact, growing more. We're in talks with many people to increase our presence across the country.
Yeah.
So, like you say, since we're started off in Chennai, so obviously more presence in
Good.
Chennai currently. Next, we're looking at Bangalore to increase our presence quickly, and then Hyderabad, and then we're also present in Delhi, Goa. A lot of talks are happening in Jaipur, Bombay, Kerala, across the country. So yeah, so we're looking to take this across the country.
Great, great. Yeah. It's a good, so in the last 5 years, he has so many outlets running, which is a good. Yes. So during the COVID 19 situation, the
Right.
times, what type of support do they get? So do you think? So firstly, I would like to have understanding of your existing franchisee. How have they been doing during this time? and what type of support did you give them, in
See, to
system?
be very honest, just to give you a very, very honest answer,
Hmm.
the outlets that had already built their name
Hmm.
before COVID hit, okay,
Hmm.
didn't have any issue with the business.
Okay.
So the cities and the outlets where we had already been present for at least a year, and we already had a regular customer following, we did not face any issues except the first 1 month where we
Okay.
had logistics challenges. But then, even then, how I supported them was I took the cost of the logistics. I mean, it was
Hmm.
too much for me to take a cost. They took a minimum cost for that, and then we were able to run the operation.
Hmm.
My factory or the kitchen where we bake the products will never close. Okay,
Hmm.
it is my own building space. So I have
Sure.
guys who also stay in the basement of the building.
Hmm.
So whatever happens, even if there is a lockdown, my guys are in the same building. So there is not going to be no in terms of that. As long as the if the borders are open, the brownies will always be available.
Hmm.
Okay, and
Okay.
I don't think we're ever going to see an issue where borders will be shut anymore. So it's
Hmm.
never going to go to that extent. Even if there may be lockdowns in the future, I'm sure borders will never be shut. So there will
Sure.
always be a way to send the product. We don't have to, you don't have to worry about that. And getting back to, the franchisees who were just opening, who just opened maybe 2 months or 3 months into the business.
Hmm.
Over there, honestly, yes, because it was still too early into kind of building the brand in that particular area. There was a drop in sales, and but we had to continuously speak stakeholders, the landlords, and all of them to help us go through that time. So that's what
Right.
we did. I helped them, at least connect with the landlords, make them understand, and try and help them as much in that way. So, apart from our IT offices, the IT stores, the basically the kiosks and IT parks, no other shop has shut. In fact, even during COVID, we have opened another 4 locations.
Oh, great, great.
Yeah,
Fine, fine. We have good understanding what you said. In the next slide, yes. So a little bit more on the you have already mentioned, but here the question is in regards to hiring of the staff and
right.
marketing.
See, so like I said earlier, this will completely be your prerogative. It will be in the franchisee's hands.
Hmm.
Okay, the
Hmm.
franchisee has to take care of this because end of the day, he's going to be paying the staff. The staff are going to be working for his outlet. For him, the returns are going to be directly there in that particular outlet. Okay,
Hmm.
we do not take responsibility of hiring staff while we will help you, give you all the basics of and all our learnings from the past years of who you can identify, where you can go and try and get staff, or try and connect you with various staff brokers in each city. That we can try and do, but in terms of hiring the person, that we will not take responsibility for.
Hmm.
Okay, and
Sure.
marketing of the outlet, again, like I said, we have over the years run the strategy has been completely, whether it's ATL or BTL or running digital ads or running PPC campaigns on Google or Insta ads and all of that. We have a right marketing mix and a marketing strategy that we follow for every outlet. We will share the same strategy with the particular outlet, and they can completely take charge of it.
Sure. Sure. Fine. Yeah. So this will move to the next. Yes. So, would you mind sharing any specific challenge which franchisee has experienced and shared with you, and what
Mhm.
type of support did you give in that regard?
See, so maybe I can think of two things right now. One is obviously COVID. So one is something as certain as uncertain as COVID. So
Hmm.
that was a huge game changer, and in terms of even collaborating with franchisees to kind of figure out different business avenues, try and ask them to do stuff, and try and push orders to them. So in that way, like I said, taking care of some sort of logistics expenses for them, trying and brokering with all these logistics partners to somehow ensure that we get the product to them, trying to negotiate, when we buy stock, we need some sort of credit period also. So giving franchisees support in terms of credit period payments. So all of
Right.
this we have completely helped. Okay, we're not uh, a ruthless or unethical organization. We completely believe in running
Mhm.
business where there's going to be benefit for both parties and whoever is involved, and at the same
Correct.
time taking care of the employees as the number one customers in our company. So that's how we look at it. Okay,
Mhm.
and another issue which I think of late that we faced is also through all the digital ads. In fact, so
Mhm.
as a brand, when we run digital ads, uh, we get leads from every single area of the city. It is not specific to only one area of the city. So how we also help our franchisees is that each time we got an inquiry from a particular area where they were present, we immediately connected the customer towards them instead
Mhm.
of converting the order ourselves.
Right.
So that way they also feel completely part of this whole thing. So
Mhm.
these are
Correct.
some of the
Correct.
things that we have done.
Great. Great. So these are the things actually which helps to make the relationship stronger with your franchise.
Right,
And franchisee channelization is all about how do you help them in doing so. Yeah.
right.
So yes. So these are the question which we had in regards to the franchisees. Yes. So we'll definitely be in touch with you for the once we upload on the social medias.
Sure.
Yes, this is the message for all the viewers and the business seekers who would like to take any kind of a business from us. Please approach us on the number mentioned, which is 9844443200. You can send us or approach us through an email on the email address mentioned, business@franchisebazaar.com. And please log into the website, franchisebazaar.com, to come to know about the different opportunity in the franchisee and also about the Brownie Heaven, which is listed on our website. Yeah, so thank you, Nishant, for being a
Sure.
part of it.
Thank
Right,
you so
and
much.
give us the complete understanding. And we'll be in touch with you once we start generating a lead for you, and to take the discussion ahead. We'll be connecting back to you on it.
All right. Thank you so much.
Sure. Thanks. On this note, I am ending the session. Thank you once again.